Welcome to the episode 11 Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valera. On today's episode, I'm going to be recapping episode 7 of the Fox reality TV show, The Snake. We have seen quite a whirlwind of a season of twisted game playing from across the board and has seen somebody get eliminated. Last week, we saw Christine get eliminated. This week, we have an impactful and crazy episode that sees players compete in hide and go seek the mongoose game that determines the snake leader for the week. The chaos doesn't stop there as more surprise slither along the way in the snake pit in the all-new Nowhere to Hide episode of The Snake. There has been some highs, there's been some lows, there's been some things that I think like you do in every first season of reality TV. You almost feel like sometimes they're winging it, right? You know what I mean? They're still trying to figure out, navigate certain ways to make the best product for audiences. And right now, we find out that Christine, let me pull up my handy dandy chart up here right now, but Christine has in fact given the advantage to John. She gave the advantage this week to John for being eliminated. And then Jim introduces the mongoose that is hiding in the house. The first person to find the mongoose can eliminate anyone else from becoming the snake. The last person standing will take control and be the snake. This to me was quite an interesting thing, right? You know what I mean? Like it was like they hid the mongooses throughout the entirety of the house. Everybody had to find them. We see Brett, the first mongoose, took out Amanda. Alyssa found one, took out Brett. So forth and so forth and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? There was a chain of events that we see unfold. The final two ended up being John and Frake. And with them being the final two, it came down to John becoming the snake. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting because you start to have the conversations of who is going to be the snake, who's going home, how are we going to have the dynamic, and who are we going to target? Before we got there, we got some lovey-dovey messages from home, which I found interesting because it kind of shaped some of the characters in the show. And I feel like that also shaped some of the characters for the people internally to see the family members and see the dynamic from there. But to me, what really kind of crazy came out of this is how they let John almost dictate how things were going to unfold in the snake pit, right? He announces that he wanted to meet with everyone for 3 minutes and promises that no matter what they say to him, he's not going to snitch. And to me, for a guy so new to this, new to the fold here, you understand you're going to be the snake for a week, not multiple weeks, a week. So all the feathers you ruffle in this week could come back and bite you in the ass next week, and you'll be on the way out the door, right? So because of that, we see a lot of back and forth, but John went to Jordan and Catherine face to face and said, you two are going to be the bottom two, period. Now, John wants to get rid of Catherine, and they are pissed. He said it was a consensus amongst everybody. We see a whole dynamic unfold with Jordan snapping, and then, of course, everybody come to the realization that, yeah, they really want to just get rid of Catherine. And it was... Again, it just shocked me to watch everybody kind of play by John's, fiddle here. He was just the man in command, man in charge. He was the guy. So, of course, that leads us to the snake pit. Within the snake pit, John makes his first pick. His first pick was Alyssa, which shockingly not picks Frank. And then Frank picks Amanda. And then Amanda picks Derek. And then, of course, Derek picked his boy Brett. Now, before things unfold, Jim announces in a twist that there's a crate with a snake head. Whoever basically has the longest snake cane will be safe from elimination, but will not be able to save somebody else. So everybody pulls their thing out. We see everybody. The last person to do it was Catherine. Catherine versus Jordan. Jordan was the one that was safe with the longest stick there. So in this moment, we see Brett picked Jack over McLean because he was too worried that John would eliminate Jack over Catherine. And the final two pit was McLean and Catherine has been eliminated. This one, I'll be damned. For weeks, we talked about it. I think everybody agreed she was the front runner, but my biggest thing with Catherine was she started to overplay her hand. And I think the downfall started when she started playing both sides of the fence and it was outed to the world that she was playing both sides of the fence. I feel like there's just enough there to kind of watch the demise of Catherine. She had everybody playing at the palm of her hands, but then she overplayed her hand. And I think the biggest reason is Amanda. Amanda really started to change her gameplay. And because of that, we saw obviously with the Devontae situation, it's only been up for her. You know what I mean? I've been talking up Amanda now for 2 straight weeks. And again, this is another strong week where I feel like Amanda's slotting herself into the number one spot over Catherine in my power rankings because she's jockeying for position. She's in with the right people. She has Frank and Alyssa on her side. But then also on the flip side, she's very cozy with Derek, and then Derek and Brett's combination. And then you throw in Jack. I feel like Amanda could go on both sides of the fence and play both sides. Amanda's probably the most dangerous player in this game right now, especially with Catherine out. And because of that, she's number one in my power rankings this week. Number two for me is Alyssa. She's a player. I like what she's doing. She's playing the game very well. She's very competitive. And again, another player that didn't seem like they were going to be a threat early on, but you're starting to see she's a game player. She's a competition game player, but then also a strategic game player. And because of that, she's sliding into my number two slot. Now, my number three is going to shock folks, right? I believe it's Jack. The reason I believe it's Jack is because he's slowly starting to get some numbers in his favor. As the numbers start to dwindle down on this show, as we continue to start unpacking the people that are eliminated each week, right? So we get rid of Catherine here, right? So now Jack and Brett McClain, that's three, right? You know what I mean? I think we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 people remaining. Okay. So he has at least 3 on his side with Brett, McClain, and Jack. But then there's also Derek. So if Derek's up there, Derek and Brett's relationship is going to lead to one of them picking one another. And then, of course, if Derek picks Brett, Brett picks Jack, that dynamic is still there. If McClain's up there, she's going to pick Jack as well. So I feel like Jack has slowly been on the back burner with his competitiveness and how he's been strategically playing. And because of that, I feel like he goes to the forefront. I think him and Brett are playing the game well. Brett and Derek have a strong bond, but I do think that it's Jack first. But obviously, with McClain in the picture, Jack is also protecting his his $100,000 here as well. So my top 3 after episode 7: Amanda, Alyssa, and Jack. What do you guys think of this week's episode of The Snake? I think we only had 10 episodes. So we're down to 8, 9, and 10. 3 episodes remain. And if only 3 episodes remain, we have 9 people in the house. So we need to start trimming the fat around here. We need to get rid of some of these people with 9 people left. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people left with only 3. I think only 3 episodes remain. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. Don't forget to check out my interview with Catherine tomorrow morning. That'll be Wednesday. If you're already listening past Wednesday, it's already up on my YouTube channel. I'm very, very excited to chat with Catherine and get her behind the scenes thoughts on how she played the game and stuff like that, because she's been one of my favorite game players of the year. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I'll be back next week.